A majestade do Quênia, a grande atração da savana africana. A riqueza de tudo que há para se descobrir. As figuras das árvores de acácia, que são símbolo nacional de uma paisagem mergulhada em tradições. Ao chegar a Nairobi, é impossível se deixar enganar. O ar pesado e úmido, os sons, o cheiro, o espírito do lugar. Richard Quest está de volta à África, onde as maravilhas naturais tiram seu fôlego, enquanto outras aceleram seus batimentos. E tudo isso na porta de entrada de Nairobi.
What better way is there to arrive in Nairobi than through the national park? Because this way I get to experience safari along with the city. After all, where else in the world can I experience the big four living next to the big 4.5 million? And if everything I've heard is true, there is only one word to describe Nairobi: vibrant.
A vibração que vamos explorar começa cedo. Está quase na hora do café e as ondas sonoras despertam junto com a cidade. O rádio é uma parte essencial nas manhãs de Nairobi. Tem notícias, fofocas e pregações. Quest está a caminho de encontrar um dos principais apresentadores matinais e sua parceira.
Because Richard Quest from CNN is in the 254.
Really?
He's in Kenya and is enjoying the Kenyan traffic as we speak.
Oh, our traffic is a tourist attraction, so welcome.
Shafi Weru e sua parceira Adele Onyango são as estrelas durante a jornada matinal da cidade.
Hello. Good morning, Richard Quest.
Karibu. Welcome.
Good to see you, sir.
We're about to go.
Oh.
Richard Quest is here.
Yeah.
How are you finding
The city.
our brilliant city?
I'm blown away by the place.
Yeah.
But what I have discovered is the gentility and elegance of Kenya.
Oh, wow.
Sorry about the weather. This is a suburb of Nairobi.
Nascido e criado em Nairobi, ele conhece a cidade como a palma da mão.
Welcome to CJ's.
Do you enjoy it, radio?
I enjoy radio, man. Radio is life. Everything I do every morning, I've been waking up for the last 9 years. And I always tell myself the day I wake up one day and I feel like, wow, I'm tired, I can't do this anymore. That's the day I'll quit, but it's never coming.
Let's talk about Nairobi.
Yeah.
What is the essence of Nairobi and Nairobians?
Nairobians are magnificent. Nairobians, we love everything about Nairobi, everything that's Kenya, everything about the culture.
Mas quando se fala da vibração do Quênia, Eliud Kipchoge é um bom exemplo. Ao vê-lo correr, já dá para notar de cara que ele é um campeão. Em 2018, ele quebrou o recorde mundial ao vencer a Maratona de Berlim.
When did you first realize that you were exceptional at running? When did you realize it?
I realized in the year 2003 when I won the junior trials for cross country in Lausanne. And then 3 months later, I won a world championship in Paris.
Em 2017, ele fez uma parceria com a Nike para ver se conseguia correr uma maratona em menos de 2 horas. O projeto chamava-se Breaking 2.
You came very close.
It was 2 hours and 25 seconds.
2 hours and 25 seconds.
Yeah.
Looking back, do you feel you could have squeezed out something more to have got you under to 1:59.59?
I can say that I am very happy with my performance.
Nairobi tem não só um parque safari, mas também a floresta Karura, com um macaco de pescoço branco, belezas naturais e árvores enormes. Um lugar ótimo para correr com Eliud, que gentilmente acompanhou o ritmo de Quest. Agora, observe como o carro da produção o leva à velocidade de maratona, que são recordes mundiais. Agora Quest ficou para trás.
There is no human who is limited. And if you focus on what you are doing, you can go beyond that.
Trens a vapor são lembranças de um passado colonial.
East African railways and harbors.
E do poder do Império Britânico que governou o Quênia. A força e o sofrimento. Em Nairobi, essa talvez seja a marca mais visível de uma história não tão distante.
To understand more about this city, I've come to the Nairobi Railway Museum. Here I can see the steam engines of the old East African railways. If I'm going to understand the DNA of Nairobi, well, understanding something of the colonial past is pretty essential.
Nairobi e as ferrovias. As duas estão entrelaçadas desde 1895, quando os britânicos se ocupavam em conectar partes de seu império, construindo uma ferrovia desde Mombasa, na costa queniana, até a colônia vizinha, Uganda.
So the towns from Mombasa, Voi, Nairobi.
É muito simples. Sem a ferrovia, a cidade de Nairobi não existiria.
Malaba, Nyahururu, Nanyuki, and Thika are railway towns. They were built by the railways in Kenya. The first buildings began when the railway reached Nairobi. So when they reached Nairobi, they decided to make a stopover because of the advantages of Nairobi over other places in Kenya at that time. One of them is availability of water, cool temperature, availability of food.
Quest está conhecendo trechos do passado de seu país sobre os quais nunca pensou muito e que estão representados em um mural ali. A façanha de construir uma ferrovia e novas cidades, realizada pelas mãos de escravos indianos que trabalhavam em condições estarrecedoras. Alguns deles foram devorados por leões enquanto trabalhavam na ferrovia.
Let's be honest, it's obviously difficult for a British subject of the Crown, such as myself, to visit Kenya and come face to face with my colonial countrymen's actions. Now, it may have all been a long time ago, but the scars run deep.
Das memórias coloniais, a liberdade e independência que o Quênia obteve em 1963. Esse monumento homenageia essa conquista. E no coração da cidade, outro motivo de orgulho. A estátua do primeiro presidente do Quênia, Jomo Kenyatta. Ele governou esse país por 14 anos. Entender o passado do Quênia é importante, mas entender o amor do país pela natureza é crucial para conhecer melhor este lugar.
What is it you like about it?
To feel you're in the nature, there is no distraction. Every day you go out is a fresh and new thing.
Richard Quest está em um safari com Najib Balala, ministro do turismo do Quênia.
No, something there. What is that?
Ele já pulou de um avião e escalou o Monte Quênia, o pico mais alto do país. Tudo para promover a terra que ele ama.
I can never see the animals until they're virtually on top of me. This is the only city that's got a national park within its borders.
Yes.
Oh, buffalo! Stop! 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 Look at that, buffalo. Very nice. Are we going to see any lions today?
Of course.
Have you made the ministerial decree? I want to see it.
We send a memo to them.
To the head of lions.
Um café ministerial para dois na savana. É uma refeição modesta, sem dúvida.
Is this what you do every day? Is this an average morning breakfast for the minister?
Certainly for visitors like you, we're going to roll out the luxury breakfast. So yes, look at this.
Excellent. Talk to me about the significance, the importance in the structure of Nairobi and the DNA of the city of this particular national park.
Nairobi National Park is about 134 square kilometers. Also, the greenery and the ecosystem supports Nairobi as a healthy city.
How would you say Kenyans juxtapose the colonial past with today? I went to the Railway Museum.
Oh, yes. Our great founding father told us, don't forget, but forgive. And that's why we have peace with what our past is all about. And we moved forward. Very painful, but we have moved on and we try to improve of what was the foundation.
Todos os que vão ao safari esperam ver o orgulho da selva, o leão. E Quest não é diferente.
Where?
Lion
Oh,
there.
ooh, lion.
The skyline behind.
Yes. Oh, come on! This is the money shot.
Há uma cerca elétrica que separa o parque da cidade.
From the city. This is the money shot. Here we are, with a lion, with cubs, and the Nairobi city skyline. That's a lion's roar. So this shows the unique part of Nairobi's wildlife offering. How would you describe Kenyans or Nairobians?
Every part of life in Nairobi is fast. Here is vibrant, people are moving fast, and people want to get things done.
Há aqueles cujas tradições de viver na savana remontam a séculos, como os Maasai. O ministro sugeriu que Richard Quest deveria tentar pular como eles, que também parecem ansiosos para participar. É mais difícil do que parece, e os joelhos de Quest vão pagar o preço amanhã. Mas tudo bem, isso é que é ser vibrante. A luz da manhã em Nairobi anuncia a hora de despertar para humanos e animais. E nessa pitoresca mansão do período colonial, ambas as espécies ficam cara a cara. E é um verdadeiro espetáculo.
So the sun has risen and on cue, the giraffes have arrived at the manor. Yeah, they know it's breakfast time.
Este é o Giraffe Manor, um luxuoso hotel exclusivo e peculiar, situado em quase 5 hectares de terra particular, próximo a um santuário ainda maior. É maravilhoso, ou esquisito, ou os dois.
One for you. Feeding giraffes.
Uma diária nesse lugar custa algumas centenas de dólares. Fica claro que tomar café com girafas é uma brincadeira que sai muito mais cara do que qualquer um de nós poderia imaginar.
One has to say, the view, extraordinary to see this Africa in this way.
Estas girafas não são domesticadas, mas estão acostumadas com os humanos, ainda mais quando são alimentadas e beijadas, o que, para essas grandonas, parece ser tudo a mesma coisa.
Headbutting apparently is an occupational hazard of feeding giraffes. Yes, I knew we'd get on in the end. Now, would you mind a moment if I just order my breakfast? What would you like? Kelly's having some pellets and I'll have the full English.
Yes, please. A coisa toda é bem condicionada. As girafas devem ter se exercitado, mas 2 vezes ao dia elas são alimentadas na mansão, durante o café da tarde e aqui, no café da manhã.
And another. Thank you. I think that's more than enough for breakfast. Now, do you mind if I have my breakfast, Kelly? No, this is mine. No. No.
No folclore, as girafas costumam simbolizar o futuro, com aquele longo pescoço que ultrapassa fronteiras.
This may be strange feeding a giraffe breakfast with its head through the window, but it really proves it's a world of wonder. Have another.
Se a natureza é o coração de Nairobi, a religião deve ser a alma. E se for domingo, está na hora da igreja.
Good morning.
Welcome to our service.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Quest foi visitar uma das maiores da cidade.
Jubilee Christian Church Parklands, Nairobi's Church of Excellence, it says. And here I'm going to meet Reverend Kathy Kiuna. Good morning.
E descobriu que esse grande complexo começou em um restaurante com apenas 10 pessoas em 1999, quando a reverenda Kathy Kiuna fundou a Jubilee Christian Church com seu marido, o bispo Alan Kiuna.
Thank you for inviting us and thank you for allowing us to come in.
Thank you for coming.
You're resplendent in your Sunday best.
Thank you.
Segundo eles, a igreja conta com mais de 10 mil membros e possui mais de 12 congregações fora de Nairobi.
82% of Kenyans are Christian, and so it's a very Christian nation. If you ask the big percentage of the youth, will talk about their faith first. And so it's a big thing in Kenya.
Mesmo antes de seu sermão, já é possível perceber o fervor religioso da reverenda.
In the name that is above every other name, we bow before your throne. I was born in Nairobi, and Nairobi is the most amazing city.
Why?
It's very beautiful. The Nairobians, they make Nairobi because Nairobians are very happy, thriving, excited human beings. They are so vibrant. They are so with it. They live for real. We live life. It's not a rehearsal.
Something new that God is putting in your life. He put a new song.
A música é estrondosa e a reverenda conduz o louvor. E no momento do sermão, a pregação é imponente.
So when people are looking at this big armor and this tall man and getting afraid because Goliath was big, David was thinking, you're too big to miss.
What goes through your mind as you're doing it?
The whole desire, even for preaching, is to see changed lives, to see God use me to be able to impact lives and change them for the better.
If anybody tells you you're not good looking, they need glasses. They need to go to the optician for a checkup because you are good looking. If you're a man, just do like this.
É uma mensagem que ela quer levar além de Nairobi, apesar dos críticos que rotulam sua mensagem como Evangelho da Prosperidade. Os críticos também pensam que ela e seu marido, o bispo, têm um estilo de vida muito luxuoso.
When you hear the criticism of you and you hear the criticism of your husband, you've seen the criticisms about your personal lives, what hurts you?
It really doesn't hurt because if you don't know me, you're gonna say things. You can be, well off, but that doesn't mean that you're not humble. I think I am a very humble human being, but I believe that God has called us to live life and live well. Because we see young people's lives changed, and that's what it's all about.
Certamente, Nairobi é transformação, é futuro, é seguir adiante. Sua vibração e energia andam lado a lado de muitas formas.
Normally in this part of the show, I find a nice, quiet, reflective place to say goodbye. That would be a mistake in Nairobi, because this place is so full of life that once again I have to come somewhere where I can drink at the well of its vibrancy. To be sure, every 4 years or so, the whole place falls into disagreement, usually on politics. But for the rest of the time, well, what you'll find here is peace and dignity, and the only eruptions are into laughter. All of which means Nairobi must be on your list. A world of wonder.
onde o Oceano Pacífico se depara com a terra à beira do continente. Uma vista tão linda que não dá para não admirar.
Of all the views in the world, this one always gets me right here.
Seja pelo mar ou por terra, ao passar pela Golden Gate de São Francisco, esteja preparado.
The shaking, the bell. This is the way to arrive in San Francisco. Clang, clang, clang with the trolley.
A orquestra das ruas toca uma melodia que não sairá da sua cabeça. Só de estar lá, o som e a sensação são diferentes. Uma cidade com cor e personalidade, onde é normal ser diferente e sempre desafiar as regras.
The price for living amongst such beauty is the pain you suffer when occasionally climbing these hills when needs must. I can't think of any other major city quite so extreme. Here in San Francisco, that seems entirely appropriate. A city of rebellion and defiance. If you're going to San Francisco,
Era 1967 e a música San Francisco, de Scott McKenzie, se tornou o hino simbólico do verão do amor, quando 100 mil hippies se instalaram entre as ruas Haight e Ashbury. Isso nunca tinha sido visto antes. Uma revolução cujas armas eram o amor e a paz. Os hippies foram embora. Mas essas ruas ainda carregam as marcas e as lembranças dos dias vividos ali.
your top hat's bigger than my top hat.
The original hippies actually wore Victorian-inspired clothing and Edwardian clothing in the 1960s.
Hippie clothing at capitalist prices.
Flapper dresses are very big in the counterculture right now because of the parties at the speakeasy.
Quest não é fã desses vestidos, mesmo que Jim Siegel diga que estão em alta. Ele foi para São Francisco como menino de rua, atrás do sonho hippie. Hoje, é dono dessa loja de nome sugestivo, Distractions.
I'm one of the longest merchants on Haight Street since 1976 now.
Seu público-alvo é a contracultura, que tem o capital.
All right, let's make you look a little psychedelic here. Vests are very big, waistcoats are very big in San Francisco, so that vest and there. Well, would you like to see the famous corner of Haight and Ashbury, which is right down the street here? All right.
Am I attired suitably?
Yes, you'll fit right into present-day Haight-Ashbury, as well as if you were walking down the street 50 years ago. Right across the street there was the original psychedelic shop at 1535 Haight Street. That was the first hippie psychedelic shop.
What do you mean by psychedelic shop?
It was for people that experimented with LSD to blow their minds. Turn on, tune in, and drop out. Right behind us here is a whole...
Tie-dye.
Tie-dyes, yes. Here we are at the legendary corner of Haight and Ashbury in San Francisco, where it is always 4:20 on the clock permanently.
Que fique claro, esse é o código para fumar maconha. O que parece estranho em outros lugares é bem recebido em São Francisco.
This house is the epitome of the spirit of San Francisco.
Really?
I'd say so.
Esta casa é a mansão Westerfeld, uma das casas de estilo vitoriano mais famosas da cidade. Todas as ondas de imigração em São Francisco já passaram por esses quartos.
Russian czarist that fled the Russian Revolution came over, turned the downstairs into a speakeasy. Then the hippies evolved from the beatniks, and there were 3 major hippie communes here in the 1960s.
The satanic rituals went on here.
And satanic movies filmed here. Anton LaVey, head of the Church of Satan, was here with his baby lion. This room was Bobby Bosley of the Manson family's bedroom.
Esta casa, com seu passado conturbado, é perfeita para uma cidade com tantos segredos sombrios.
I'm fascinated by this magnet that draws people in.
Magic. Magic is the word for San Francisco. It is a magical city. It is vibrant, it is creative, it is beautiful, it has soul. It's a special place on earth.
Seja o que for, as mudanças sociais na cidade parecem começar por ali.
This is my psychedelic room, and this wall represents the dance music culture of San Francisco in the 1960s.
É simplesmente uma sobrecarga sensorial. Assim como eram os anos 60, embora Quest tenha nascido apenas em 1962.
This is the 1967 San Francisco phone book.
1967, so that is the Summer of Love.
Summer of Love. You will find Janis Joplin is listed. She was just a normal person in 1967.
626-8569. What was great about the hippie life?
At the time, we thought that if everybody would drop out and do what we're all doing, we would create a new society.
Does that seem naive to you now?
Yes, without a doubt. But I loved the vision, and as a child, it looked, as a teenager and everything, it was so inviting.
This idea that those who came here as naive idealists have now turned into NIMBY conservatives with a small c. Oh, we don't want that sort of thing going on here.
And I'll be the first to say I'm probably one of those people.
Are you?
I fight all the new development in San Francisco. They're trying to build a 9-story building a block away from here, and I'm trying to fight that.
A transformação daqueles rebeldes parece ter acabado. Eles observam tudo de suas torres vitorianas. A cidade que antes repudiava o capitalismo acabou crescendo.
In the last 5 years, all of these high-rises from about there over to there have been built.
Ainda há muito para desvendar sobre o DNA deste lugar. Antes de se aprofundar, há uma experiência que Quest não quer perder. A Rua Lombard, um lugar abarrotado de turistas, mas que é típico de São Francisco.
Oh, good Lord! Look at that!
A famosa Rua Tortuosa tem uma descida de 30 metros com 8 curvas acentuadas. Quest não pode nem pensar em dirigir rápido nesse lugar. Pois é, nem as ruas querem seguir as normas. São Francisco. A cidade costeira. Por séculos, o norte dos revolucionários. Os beatniks, os hippies, a comunidade gay. Todos encontraram sua voz ali. Quando o número de hippies diminuiu, no final dos anos 60, as blusas no estilo tie-dye deram lugar ao arco-íris. E o bairro chamado Castro se tornou o centro da comunidade gay.
This is the stairway I used to come down from my house up on the crest of Russian Hill here.
Será difícil de achar um melhor cronista na cidade durante as décadas de 70 a 90 do que Armistead Maupin. O livro Tales of the City começou como crônicas nos jornais, que se tornaram romances e uma minissérie para a televisão. O livro Tales e suas histórias sobre a vida na cidade, com toda a sua bizarrice, se transformaram em um guia oficial.
Come on, you're new. Give it time. The city loosens people up.
A Macondry Lane serviu de inspiração para a fictícia Barbary Lane, criada por Maupin, onde seus personagens viviam.
I needed it for my own imagination. I could set imaginary people here and still make it real. My process was that they all had to be me. All of my characters, because I could then imbue them with humanity.
So I remember in 1984, not fully out the closet, coming to San Francisco, thinking, whoa, wow, what? Whew.
That was roughly my feeling too. Thank you for articulating it so well.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the sight of all these men on the street,
Yes.
just the the community that was going on.
Os livros abordavam os momentos decisivos da época, relacionamentos gays e a epidemia da AIDS.
But you remember the moment when people first started getting sick, when people first started disappearing?
It was a state of terrible panic on my part. And when a new person tested positive, you were certain that they were going to die. It's hard to convey the horror of it. It really is. There's something great about having an imaginary place that people come visit.
I read your books.
Oh, thank you.
I just this weekend finished reading book 2.
O novo público descobriu os livros décadas após o início da série.
I was kind of the first guy out of the gate that wrote about trans people, you know, a sympathetic trans character in Anna Madrigal. And so I'm glad we've still got her around. Yeah, it's perfect, isn't it?
This idea that you were saying about you can have a, what is it? You can have a...
Oh, yeah. You can have a hot lover, a hot job, and a hot apartment, but you can't have all three at the same time.
This city, there is something about it that I cannot put my finger on.
It is really the most beautiful city in the world as far as I'm concerned. The possibilities of life are still available here. You can still see what might be in your life, and people still come here for that.
Dos hippies aos gays. Agora temos os mais recentes pioneiros na cidade, os que sonham na nuvem. São Francisco é a sede global de grandes empresas. Reverenciada por suas inovações e, como nas gerações anteriores, criticada por seus excessos. O que tem nessa cidade que atrai grupos revolucionários um atrás do outro?
Science and the moral life. This is a study of the commune movement done at the time. Cardboard lover. It's not someone who loves cardboard, it's not a fetishist.
Na Universidade Stanford, o professor Fred Turner fez dos estudos sobre mudanças sociais seu trabalho de vida. Novos adventos, como a tecnologia, sempre desafiam os limites.
San Francisco got started as a kind of alternative space in the 19th century, even before the gold rush. This was the absolute end of the earth. Some sailors stayed, and they built a kind of alternative society.
Why?
I think what was there was freedom. That habit of migrating to the West to be free, to escape, that habit persists, and generations of Bohemians follow. There's the updated last Whole Earth catalog.
Quest vai poder ver de perto a Bíblia dos hippies.
Now we're getting, look at this index information retrieval system.
Officially, it starts as a publication for people heading out to communes. Steve Jobs, Alan Kay, they talked about this catalog as a kind of proto-internet. They knew how to recognize what the internet was, partly because they'd seen this catalog. When Mark Zuckerberg says, I want to build a Facebook system that connects everyone, he's using the language of the communes. On the communes, what people wanted to do was get connected to one another, to have a shared consciousness, a shared mindset.
So you can see a direct connection.
Mm-hmm. Silicon Valley absorbs the creative energy, the self-centeredness, the consciousness orientation that is the San Francisco counterculture. Steve Jobs lived on a commune for a year.
Tech has pushed out the hippies and the gays and all the others who were not as wealthy, and tech's wall of money has pushed them out. You argue that this is just a repetition or a recitation of what's happened before.
This is the story of San Francisco.
As ondas se aproximam e se distanciam. Cada nova maré carrega mudanças para a cidade e fortalece o espírito que sempre esteve presente lá. Está escondido entre as colinas charmosas. Uma metáfora que simboliza tudo que a cidade representa. West vai agora ao bairro chinês mais antigo da América do Norte. Está prestes a participar de um ritual importante.
Nice to meet you.
Richard, right?
It
yes.
is.
That's good, huh?
Vivian Chen é a terceira geração a trabalhar nessa confeitaria de família. Por décadas, eles têm adoçado o futuro com a promessa de uma boa sorte, assim como esta cidade e seus desembarques sem fim.
You grab a fortune.
Grab a fortune.
And then you grab it.
Hang on.
And then you put it here.
No,
just watch me first.
Yeah,
Just watch me
yeah.
first. And then you hold the corners, and then you just press down.
Fine.
Like, you have to put it on the rod. Okay, that was a fail, but you can try again.
Hang on, I'm getting there. Don't rush me. It's a great pleasure in life doing what people say you can't do. That's appropriate.
Oh, it's okay, but you did it.
Close.
Close.
You've got to move, and they're bloody hot.
For the corners, for the corners.
Oh, look at this. You never hesitate to tackle the most. You've got to never hesitate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too much.
It's okay, the effort that counts.
1, 2, 3. Fold it and
You did it.
And ready? 1.
Na dúvida, vá atrás do futuro.
You should not return to the past to revive an old relationship.
Oh.
Okay.
The near future holds a gift of contentment.
Satisfação. O dicionário define como um estado de felicidade e realização. Com certeza, as pessoas vão para lá em busca de alegrias. E em uma cidade nada convencional, é natural que surjam formas de entretenimento pouco ortodoxas. E esse é um teatro que transformou a frivolidade em arte.
San Francisco, tell me you're the heart of all the golden West.
I've interviewed many people in many circumstances. I've never interviewed somebody wearing a hat of a city skyline.
Tammy Nelson e seu chamativo chapéu com o horizonte da cidade fazem parte do Beach Blanket Babylon, uma das peças musicais mais antigas do mundo.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
A sátira desse musical faz paródias sobre qualquer pessoa ou qualquer coisa. Com criação de Steve Silver, nativo de São Francisco, teve sua primeira apresentação em 1974. Os chapéus e perucas enormes viraram a marca registrada do show. Descarado, exagerado, uma lenda de São Francisco.
Oh my God, oh good grief. I've just got this feeling that, you know, there's disaster ever closer.
It takes a while to learn to walk in it.
Jo Schumann Silver, viúva de Steve, é quem comanda o show agora. Sua energia é constante, assim como as apresentações.
Does it fit? Oh my God, you have it on your head. To me, it became what's in the news.
How often do you change it?
If there's something in the news, and I think the audience will care about it, and it's relevant, then it could be that night.
I'm gonna tell you soon my brilliant plan to deal with Kim Jong-un.
What is it about San Francisco that enabled, allowed, permitted, encouraged Beach Blanket Babylon to exist?
Anything goes. We're never embarrassed by what we do. You know, San Franciscans have done some pretty crazy things throughout the years, and they usually burst. It's the most special, magical place to come to.
San Francisco.
San Francisco is a city that never fails to impress. And I don't just mean because of the view. Far from it. Here, new radical ideas are born and thrive, and then go on to change human behaviors in the rest of the world. And new groups of like-minded people are always pushing out those who are already here. There is, though, one constant throughout. It is the character that is San Francisco. Searching for a word to describe it, time and again I hear magic. So, it is the magic of San Francisco that makes it truly part of our world of wonder.